let's talk about a comparison between the Switchblade X9 and the QQ9. In my previous top 10 lists, I wasn't putting the Switchblade anymore, and some people in the comments seemed quite angry about it. So, I'm gonna present you a comparison between the two to show you why I made this choice. First, let's talk about the builds. The usual build for the Switchblade X9 has an extended barrel, skeleton stock, and extended mag, which are used in competitive and usually what I see in ranked. For the QQ9, it has a long tack barrel, no stock, and a 45 round mag. Then for both, mono or tack suppressor and tack laser or gran, which doesn't change anything in the comparison. It doesn't change which one is the best on anything. It just accentuates the difference. And we're not gonna make a comparison with the QQ9 10mm. For today, we're gonna be using the mono plus tack laser build for both. Now, let's talk about the most important thing on any weapon, the time to kill. So range, damage, multipliers, but first, fire rate. They are almost equal and the difference isn't humanly noticeable. Due to frame rounding, the time to kill will appear to be the same on every device we play COD Mobile on. To see the difference, we'd need at least 360 FPS. When it comes to the first range, the QQ9 has a 3 meter advantage over the SX9. The QQ9 can 4-shot even if all shots are in the legs, while the SX9 needs shots above the stomach to get a 4-shot kill. However, the SX9 is still pretty consistent, so there's no difference in the SX9 first range. When we're in the SX9 second range but still in the QQ9 first range, obviously the SX9 will be disadvantaged. By the way, in this range, the QQ9 can 3-shot, but it's so rare to get a 3-shot kill that it isn't relevant. In the second range, which starts earlier for the SX9, but ends at about 21 meters for both, to get a 4-shot kill you need 3 shots in the upper arms, chest, or head. But since those parts are hidden by the lower arms which have a lower hitbox, if you aim around the chest area, the chance of getting a 4-shot kill is really low. If you hit the legs or the stomach once, to get a 4-shot kill you'd need a headshot and 2 upper arms or chest shots. So most of the time in the second range, you won't usually get a 4-shot kill, and you might not even be able to get a 5-shot kill sometimes. The 6-shot kill is pretty slow for this range. On the other hand, on the QQ9, 2 chest or headshots are enough to get a 4-shot kill in the second range if you don't get any leg shots. And the arms have a multiplier big enough to give you a 4-shot kill if you spam around the chest area. After the second range, damages are pretty terrible for both, but if we wanted to compare in detail, QQ9 and SX9 would be really close, and for both, we'd get 6-shot kills except if we hit the legs multiple times, which might happen due to the BSA. So, to recap, between 0 and 12 meters, they are equal. And from 12 to 21 meters, which is the end of the effective range, QQ9 beats the SX9 easily. And then they're both bad but equally bad. Now for the overall handling, BSA and hipfire BSA are super close, which doesn't make one or another better. Recoil is also pretty easy to control for both of them, but SX9 recoil might seem to be a little smoother than the QQ9. The iron sight is better for the SX9, the flinch is the same, mag capacity is pretty much the same too, but the SX9 has a faster reload speed. Now on pretty much all the movement speed, they are almost equal. QQ9 wins on movement and sprint speed, but nothing game changing, and the SX9 has a faster strafe speed, but nothing game changing either. But some stats that haven't been mentioned already have a huge impact. The ADS speed is faster on the QQ9, and the biggest difference, the sprint to fire delay, which impacts you every time you go from sprint to ADS or hipfire. It is 65 milliseconds faster on the QQ9, which means that when taking a gunfight with the QQ9, you'll have a 65 millisecond advantage. So when a guy with an SX9 will shoot its first bullet, you'll be shooting your second only 7 milliseconds later. So we can say that with the QQ9, we can shoot 2 bullets, while with the SX9, we'd only have shot 1. Many people use the SX9 as a CBR4 alternative since the huge CBR4 nerf, but after 21 meters, the SX9 and the QQ9 are close to equal. The recoil is honestly pretty easy to control for both. The iron sight is, in my opinion, not a problem because QQ9 iron sight isn't terrible. The flinch is almost the same for both, so there's no point saying that the SX9 is better for mid-range fights than the QQ9. And if we're talking about pro players, then on the esport version, they could use the Mythic QQ9, which has a way better iron sight, and unlike the Mythic Switchblade, it doesn't have bullet tracers which reveal your precision right away. So in competition, if we had to compare the QQ9 and SX9, we'd do it with the Mythic QQ9 and the base SX9. In conclusion, the SX9 and the QQ9 are two popular weapons in the game. The SX9 is widely used because it's easier to handle, while the QQ9 is better in terms of range, ADS speed, and sprint to fire delay. However, the SX9 has a slightly better recoil and a cleaner iron sight, which makes it a debatable choice for esport. The difference between SX9 and the QQ9 isn't huge, so professional players don't have to switch to the QQ9. It would take them too much time to learn how to use it correctly. This situation has happened many times in the past, like when the Fennec was meta when the MX9 got released. In August 2020, the MX9 wasn't used while being better than the Fennec. When the QQ9 got nerfed around March 2021, pros kept using it while it wasn't the best choice until it got buried into the ground while while the QXR got the biggest buff in COD Mobile history, or when a CBR4 got released and pros kept using the Type 95 for 2 months. Or more recently, the HVK30 got its buff in January, but pros only started using it in comp about 4 months later in May to June. So, the SX9 is not in our top 10, but it's not a bad weapon at all. It's the 4th best close quarter SMG, behind the Fennec, the CX9, and the QQ9. However, putting it with the QQ9 doesn't make sense when you look at their difference on paper and practically. What's your choice? SX9 or QQ9? Let us know down in the comments below. If you're getting bored with multiplayer, you might want to try playing Battle Royale, and here are the guns that you can use for it right here on this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.